Well, boys, if there is a week where Liverpool stand to drop some points, it's this week coming up. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. This is Red Card Radio's preview episode of round 26. So I guess
and a little bit of 29.
And
29.
Round 29? How are we already on round 29, bro? I'm Liverpool. Tracking because Liverpool.
Wow.
Now, boys, we pressed the record button, and I didn't realize this until I was starting talking about it, but this Villa Liverpool game's already happened.
It started.
No, buddy. This happened 2 days ago. This happened on Wednesday. It's almost like we should have had a segment in the episode that came out on Wednesday about this game.
Oh, it should have been the intro.
Well, strange. So it was a really good game. Liverpool obviously played football. Villa also, interestingly enough, they played football.
They did.
You should hit the Google, and you'll also understand what happened in that match. But what we're looking at this week is round 26 in the Premier League. It kicks off Friday, goes through Saturday. Are there no Sunday games? No, that's Sunday. Whoever made this rundown made a typo and said the Sunday games are Saturday.
This intern is terrible.
Who would do that? But yeah, so we'll take a look at the weekend fixtures. Who needs silly midweek fixtures? No one wants to talk about those anyway. So yeah, if you're new here, if you just stumbled across us, hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell if you're on YouTube. Thank you for clicking the video. If you're on the podcast site, hit it with a follow, 5-star review. Spotify still taking those comments, and hit the share button. Send it to a friend. Put it on your social media. Those things really do help us out tremendously. So we were going to use this Villa Liverpool game to parlay our way into the Villa Chelsea game on Saturday. And now, instead, we're just going to start from Villa Park, Aston Villa, Chelsea.
Maybe.
This is the Matt Law derby. How do you feel about this, Brad?
Matt Law derby. Wow.
Is that the T1? That's a T1 journalist?
Yeah, he's a T1 for everybody, yes. He's for Villa and Chelsea. Sorry. Yeah. Villa and Chelsea, he's a T1.
Yeah, he's not Ornstein.
No, not quite Ornstein or Fab.
There's no Fab.
No, Fab is
the PayPal Fab over there getting paid from everybody.
Wow. Okay, Fabrizio.
He said it himself.
Fabrizio, we need to issue a Red Card Radio apology. Brad was not trying to indicate that you're on the buy.
No. We need a public beef.
Anyway. We need some Twitter beefs. It's been a while since White Hart Sean has gotten into some Twitter beefs.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? I need to start beefing with people.
You guys missed the beef I got into on Twitter like a week ago with Liverpool fans. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Was it spicy? Was it spicy? No, I didn't.
It wasn't.
So it was fairly tame, but like somebody made some comment about how Arsenal, this game, it couldn't have been a Champions League final because Arsenal were in it, or someone made a comment that, and I was like, but Arsenal have been in a Champions League final, so you can't really say that. And then all these Liverpool supporters were like, oh, how many? How long ago was it? Oh, and I was like, it doesn't matter. We've been there. You can't say we haven't. And some people were popping off with like, yeah, the same number that your rivals have been. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Your initial point doesn't matter. Why are you so butthurt over Arsenal being in the Champions League final?
I mean, they did compare to Tottenham, though.
Of course. Who cares?
Okay, well, that's irrelevant. But first of all, second of all, it goes back to my bigger point that Liverpool fans just like to cry over everything. They just complain. There's no rhyme or reason for why they're complaining. They just complain.
I also don't get like what the beef is between Liverpool and Arsenal supporters. Like, I don't have any beef with Liverpool supporters. I have zero beef with Liverpool supporters.
The funniest thing to me is like this, like the world is against Liverpool argument. When you have the most trophies in the history of England. Like, it's not like you can't cry woe is me when you have like, what is it, like 26 titles or something like that? It's something insane.
Yeah.
It's an insane amount of titles. And they're just like, oh yeah, beating on the poor Liverpool small guys. No, you're not. You're not the small guy. Yeah. You're the big guy. You're the Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly,
you don't get to claim that.
My opinion of Liverpool is that if Arsenal aren't winning the league, I would much rather see Liverpool win it than literally anyone else who has a reasonable chance to win it. I don't want Chelsea winning it. Kill me anytime Chelsea win it. I don't want United winning it. Kill me anytime United win it. Manchester City are just as bad as the other two. Tottenham.
What about Tottenham? Tottenham could win it.
No.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, could win it.
I was going to say Tottenham aren't even relevant in this conversation, so I don't have to worry about them.
Dang. Listen,
it's true, Sean.
James,
it's true.
James, you're wrong. You're wrong. Tottenham is relevant for Sean's career mode save in FIFA.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Then he turns it off and realizes what's what.
Long story short, yes, Sean.
We just signed Jude Bellingham.
Sean, we need more Twitter beef. You need to start beefing with more people on Twitter.
That's true.
And with
I'm going after Fab.
Bro, he'll probably actually respond. Homie is petty.
He responds and he has receipts and he makes you look like an idiot.
He does.
All right, so maybe not Fab. Maybe I'll go after Matt Law. Bring him back to the Midlands. Let's go after Matt Law.
But
Villa
played midweek. Villa played midweek.
You going to Villa Park?
They're tired. Yes, but they didn't have to travel. But that's okay. They had to play midweek.
Unai has Villa Park as a fortress, man. It's hard to play at Villa Park under Unai Emery.
Brother, Aston Villa absolutely rolled over for Liverpool.
We don't know that.
Oh, please.
No, Villa played hard.
No.
Ollie Watkins is too tired to play another 90 minutes.
No. You know what Unai Emery did? He looked at this and say, who do I have a more realistic chance at beating?
Oh.
He said, I have a more realistic chance at beating Chelsea at home than Liverpool at home. And they just rolled over for Liverpool, and they're going to be formidable against Chelsea.
Oh, 100%.
I've seen this game before, bro.
We have negative speed on our attack without Nico.
Negative speed.
Negative speed. We have nobody to push the back line back. I show slow is what happens because Sancho wants to take you one-on-one and like dribble past you and then walk and then dribble past you again and walk. Madueke wants to do the same thing. Cole Palmer's just looking to find some space.
What's going on with Pedro Neto? Like I've seen some discourse that like Chelsea fans are not happy with him. They want to ship him out. Like what's going on there?
Neto and Sancho have 3 goals combined.
And
that's
Neto's statistically one of the fastest people in the Premier League.
I think Neto needs to be. I think Neto needs to be starting. Probably as striker. Hold on.
Striker?
Why not?
Wait,
yeah,
what?
Put him at the 9. We don't have a 9. Who are you gonna put at the 9?
I don't know, but it's not Pedro Neto.
I'd rather have Neto there, really.
Okay.
Than Nkuku.
I mean,
so listen. We slide Neto in.
Who did you guys come into the season with as out and out center forwards? Just Nico Jackson,
Goy.
Okay, yeah, all right. What happened?
Both
to Goy?
got hurt. He got hurt too in the same game.
What did he do?
Hip. Something with his hip.
He's 16 years old. How do you hurt your hip?
I don't know. I'm just saying he is hurt. They're both out until April. So
us hurting our hips makes sense because we're geriatric. But like,
I think that was his injury. Hold on, let me double check.
18-year-old football hurting his hip. That's weird.
He's out for a hike.
I do have a question for you, Brad.
Yeah.
Now, the first Matoma goal aside, because that was an incredible touch. If you guys haven't seen it, it was an incredible touch, cut behind, incredible finish. There's not a center back and goalie pairing in the world that's going to stop that. Matoma just scored that goal.
So as a quick aside, real quick, when I first saw it, I thought he when he collected the ball, it hit off of Chalobah. And then you change the angle. Brighton did like a super cut of all of the angles, like all the cameras that caught it.
It was
on Twitter. And at first I was like, did that hit off Chalobah?
Incredible.
And then you see it and it was an incredible touch.
Yeah. There's not a center back goalie pairing in the world that's going to stop that.
Sure. Saliba, Gabriel, Raya.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a goal. So it's okay.
No. Yeah, whatever. But my question was, that aside, the rest of the game against Brighton, Palmer looked frustrated, visibly frustrated.
Bro, he ain't getting the ball, and he's not able to. Like, he's not getting the ball in good places, and he's like,
yeah. Even when he got it, he was like, "Why would you pass it to me here?" That's what it looked like visibly. He's confused why you would pass it to me right now.
Yes,
and he got rid of it really quick, just what he should do, and tried to move into a better position. And he looked frustrated the entire game. What changes from that to the Villa game that makes you think that Chelsea, the other 9 players, are going to put Palmer in a better position?
He's actually getting the ball less in the middle, so let's throw him back on right wing.
Oh, so that's your answer to instead of
let's
Neto
throw him on the
right
wing, put
instead
Neto
of
in the middle,
right, yeah,
and then have Nkunku as the second striker, which is his favorite role.
But you're
you're thinking of doing like a
no, I'm sorry. Nkunku is like a 10. Nkunku is like the 10. It's like that
or like a 4-1-3-1.
No, I think you're still talking about a 4-3-3.
4-2-3-1. Yeah, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, whatever.
Okay.
Pivot with the cam, and then the 2 wingers, and then Neto at the striker, because Neto can at least run down the channels and get a ball over the top if Philip can hit it.
Well, that's what he was good at Wolves, right? Is like just applying pressure off the ball.
Yes.
Pulling defenders, getting into channels. Yeah.
Yep. Which means he needs to be starting to give us that room and space. Because Chelsea's down in the dumpsters and we're like, oh no, nothing, like this is terrible. We'll probably score and win.
So I just remembered that I saw this on Twitter. You're familiar with Rory Jennings on Twitter, the Chelsea guy?
No,
I think that's his name. He's like the blonde guy. He does some of like this. I'm sure I think that's his name, Rory Jennings. He was on one of those like super fan panel things that Sky did with Paul Scholes and Kara.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah. So you're familiar with him. You've seen his face, right?
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
You're not super familiar with him then.
No.
But he was making an interesting claim that if Chelsea don't make it into the Champions League again this year, that there could be a world where Chelsea lose Cole Palmer because he expects to be in the Champions League, and if Chelsea aren't fulfilling that, he might try and stink his way out.
Okay. I mean, look, bro, like sure, but the thing with our wage scale, Champions League gets him more money, but because his wages, like he can just go, cool, he wants to not play, then Chelsea doesn't have to sell because he's on like a 10-year contract.
Sure, but I mean, if Manchester City come back with 100 million for him, like that's the question.
Like 150.
Like, well, let's be honest. Like they need a replacement for Kevin De Bruyne. They come up and they say, "We'll give you 100 for Cole Palmer. That's 60 million profit." You know, like.
Yeah, I just don't trust our owners to reinvest that money well. So no, we're not selling.
Okay, well,
sorry.
Okay, so
but I'm with you.
I just thought it was an interesting conversation. Wasn't sure if you were aware of that conversation happening.
Yeah, there's probably some clauses in there where like, hey, Champions League didn't happen, so the clause is 95 instead of 125 or whatever.
Well, I doubt that there's a buyout clause or a sell clause, like a release clause. I doubt that, because most English contracts don't have release clauses. That's a very specific Spanish thing. I think every contract in Spain has a release clause. I think it's
Portugal.
And Portugal.
Okay. I think there are. I think England has to have release clauses.
I don't think they do.
Oh, it's interesting.
I mean, because what happened to the 40 million in one offer that Arsene Wenger made for Luis Suarez, and Liverpool just ignored it, right? Like, so I don't think that there are release clauses. I think
Can we get on a tangent? Because can you imagine Luis Suarez under Arsene Wenger?
Yes.
Like, how amazing would have that been for you? Not me or Brad. But for you,
it would have been. We would have won titles.
Prime Suarez too.
Wenger would have gotten another title. Had it happened, Wenger would have gotten another title. I think it was in 2014, and so it was right after.
It had to be right before he left. Right.
Well, he left in 2017. I think it was 2018, something like that. I think 2017. He left in 2017, and they made the bid. I think it was 2014. It was like a year after we lost Van Persie. And so the squad was a single center forward away from winning the title.
That would have been 13 because 12, I believe 12 was the United Van Persie year.
Maybe.
Like that was the
2012, 2013.
31 goals. That was set the Premier League record for goals.
Either way, this is a tangent. Of all tangents.
I actually really wanted to go on that tangent. I really wanted to because that's a fun imaginary.
It's not fun for me. It didn't happen.
I somehow think Chelsea get this done out of some miracle. Like, doesn't make sense why Chelsea wins this game. Because we play the same ball with or without Nico, but without Nico, you can without a center forward, you can see the flaws in the plan. Like
I'm very drastically leaning towards Aston Villa in this match. I don't know what it is, but I mean, obviously. My opinion on that might change on Friday when I make these picks. I mean, today when I make these picks, based on what happened 2 days ago on Wednesday. Once I fully calculate that into my formula.
Maths.
Yeah, when I get that into the maths. London Derby. London Derby. Good, okay, you got a good what?
I was gonna have a good segue, but if you want to go ahead,
I was just gonna hard pivot to Craven Cottage and Crystal Palace's visit to Craven Cottage.
Yeah. I had a conversation with Brittany, and by conversation I mean she wasn't really paying attention, but I was talking at her. You guys know how this goes.
Yeah, we're Premier League fans have been married for like 10 years each, so
yeah. That I was thinking it was really odd that there's only one team. There are 7 Premier League clubs in London, and only one of them is south of the river, and it's Palace. Do you guys ever find that odd? There's Brentford, Fulham, Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham, Tottenham, north of the river.
Yeah,
and then Palace, just Palace, south.
I had never thought of that.
Neither have I.
Like, what's going on? What's going on south of the Thames? Like, what's happening over there that they just don't produce?
Well, they're probably in League One or League Two.
What would be more?
Yeah, well, there's Millwall. There's Millwall.
What we should do is we should look at we should get a map of London and plot out the teams like in the first, second, and maybe third division. Maybe just like the Premier League and the Championship to see like are all the South London clubs in the Championship? You know, that would be an interesting question.
Well, I know there's
Millwall,
Millwall and Charlton
are
south, and I think Charlton might be in League One.
I don't remember.
I actually don't know where QPR is near Brentford. I believe.
I don't remember.
They're north.
I don't know.
Anyways, in the weeds. What's up with Palace and Fulham going to Craven Cottage?
I think this could be a really intriguing game. Well, the thing about it is like Crystal Palace sit 13th. They're safe. Like they're not going to get relegated. Fulham kind of pushing for a Champions League spot. They or not the Champions League spot, a European slot. They have a legitimate shot to finish in Europe. And so I really do think Fulham are going to come out guns blazing, going after this game. If they pick up 3 big points here, I think that like they are really putting the pressure on the Newcastles, on the Chelseas, on the Bournemouths. Like I think that they really can keep that fire lit. And so I think that Fulham are going to get a result here. I think that Fulham are going to win the game. And I think Fulham make a legitimate push to get into that like Conference League, Europa League area.
I actually feel the opposite.
Okay, tell me about that.
Really?
Palace, I don't think this year, and I was wrong. I thought by losing Olise, and they lost Zaha 2 years ago, I thought by losing those players because they were so good together, that would be a huge detriment to Palace. They almost seem better. Like Mateta is a dude, and he may not be on Palace very long.
They also got that boy Eddie Nketiah.
Okay, all right. Well, okay.
And so they also didn't have both.
What?
They kept 2 of the 3 stars of that team. They lost Elise, they kept Eze, and they kept Goihi in the back.
Yep.
So
and I watched their game last weekend, and Goihi is up in the box, like in attacking mode for some reason. I don't know what's going on over at Palace, but they got center backs in the box trying to bang goals in.
Hey, that's that Cobham blood right there.
Hey, can I give you the quick and dirty stats for Eddie Nketiah?
3 games played.
I would love to know them.
All right, 18 games played, 1 assist, 3 yellow cards.
Hey, he's got 1 more assist than Goihi does in the Prem.
That's it.
And Goihi played 3 games.
He hasn't scored a goal yet in the Premier League for Palace. But we got 40 million for him, so hey, call it a day.
I love that.
My point just comes from every time I watch Palace, they look like they're playing their butts off. And I don't know what it is about their manager that makes them do that.
Well, Glasner had
but
that.
He must be good.
He had he had that big bump when he came in last year when he took over for old Roy. And so they kind of went on a tear when he signed it. I think we all expected them to kick on a little bit harder this year, but they were slow to start this year. Palace were definitely slow to start this year. They've been much better.
We gave them their first win.
Yeah, you did. They've been much better over the last 10 games, I think, than the first 10. Or maybe like if we did 12 and 13 or something like that. But they've been much better in the second third of the season. But I just think that Fulham are going to have too much for them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean Fulham has the stout defense. They have the best American player in the Premier League.
Honestly, yeah, maybe one of the best fullbacks in the league. And I've been down on him. So
yeah, homie's been kicking on, and
that's big for you.
Yeah,
to admit, James.
And they got the Arsenal Academy up in there.
Yeah, I mean Alex Iwobi and Emile Smith-Rowe, they're ready to go. I mean Reece Nelson just had surgery, so I think his season is over. But Emile Smith-Rowe, Alex Iwobi are just crushing it.
And they brought actually, you know what? They brought a Cobham legend back. Willian just signed for Fulham, so yeah, I'm on this Fulham train.
No way.
Yes, he did.
No way.
And he played in the last game.
I forgot that he canceled his contract with Olympiacos and then came back and re-signed with Fulham.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they needed a winger when Reece Nelson got injured. They needed a winger.
So last year, I won an argument by saying that Porro had the most assists by a defender in the Premier League. Do you guys want to venture a guess who has the most assists by a defender in the Premier League this year?
Well,
Pedro Porro.
Nope. I will say that this is prompted by the game we're talking about.
Yeah, it's
the Jedi. Anthony Robinson.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Robinson.
Yeah.
He has 10 assists.
Good for him.
And he leads by 4.
Well, that's good. I would like to see Fulham get into the Europa League and see Anthony Robinson playing in the Europa League next year with Fulham.
I mean, as of right now, let's assume League Cup and FA Cup go to Liverpool and
someone else.
City or whatever. Fulham are in Conference League.
Yeah.
Like straight up, they in the Conference League, assuming we get that 5th spot, which I think we do.
As long as City, I mean, I don't know. Are we beefing against Italy for that? Probably because Italy were Italy were the country that the second ranked country. We were England were 3rd, and Italy.
That was Germany.
Was it Germany? Was Italy ranked 1st?
It was Germany
in coefficient. I thought
it was Spain.
No, I think Italy got the coefficients, the second coefficient spot last year. Double check for us, but it doesn't. I thought it was Italy. Okay, so I'm picking Fulham. Brad's picking Palace, or Sean's picking Palace.
Sean's picking Palace.
Brad's gonna take a draw. I just decided for him. Let's round off this weekend with the big one. It is a big one from the city of Manchester Stadium. Manchester City hosting Liverpool. This is last year's champions against this year's preemptive or presumed champions. Can City do Arsenal a favor here? Can City take all 3 points off of this Liverpool team?
The way that City is playing right now, I think this is a very spicy game.
My thought process here, and I'm going to say this, and it might sound stupid because Arsenal just scored 5 past them, but I think that Manchester City are at a point right now where they're only going to get up for the big games. It's going like their season is, for all intents and purposes, over unless if they can turn over the result against Madrid and push on into the round of 16 into the Champions League, which obviously happened on Wednesday as well. And so you guys just hit the Google and you guys can be on the same page as us. But if they it's obviously easy for them to get up against Liverpool because it's Liverpool. This has been their rival for the last 5 or 6 years. It's the big they want to take a notch out of Liverpool. They don't want Liverpool to just walk into the title. And so I could see the City players getting up for this game. Whereas, and last week they got up for Newcastle. But it'll be harder for them to get up against Bournemouth or something like that. Is I guess the point I'm trying to make. And so I think City will be ready to play in this game. I really do.
Yeah, no, I mean I think this is a very, very good game. I think this is either going to be like all or nothing. It's going to be like a 7-goal extravaganza or 1 goal nil, like 0 to 1 goals, or it's going to be all of the goals. I don't think there's going to be like an in between here.
So what would you take if I gave you? Would you take the over under for 3 goals?
Over.
You would take over.
I'm taking the over. We'll parlay that into the Villa Chelsea game.
I
would
think
take a push.
I was going to say I think there's going to be 3 goals in this game. I think City win 2-1.
2-1 Liverpool.
Ooh.
My thought just initially was that form is temporary, class is permanent. Like, I'm not gonna try to disparage De Bruyne or Silva.
It's probably good.
I'm not gonna disparage them, but they're getting old.
True.
They're getting old, and Sabalazai and McAllister are really good. So I don't want to disparage those two, but I think the midfield is going to just overpower City without Rodri and clean it up. And
but they just signed.
What they just signed? What?
City just signed a midfielder to do that. I forget his name.
Okay,
but they just signed a midfielder.
Look it up while I'm making my point. Look it up while I'm making my point. Yeah, I just feel like Liverpool is just going to overpower them in the midfield, which is going to help them control the game. And then Salah does Salah things.
Yeah.
Diaz does Diaz things, and Nunez is just unpredictable. Like, he might get a header, he might kick somebody in the face. Who knows? Like, that guy is just a wild card.
They just signed Nico Gonzalez from Porto, who is being referenced as the mini Rodri.
What's his comp? His comp is Rodri? Oh,
yeah.
They got Marmoush and this guy?
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Marmoush is compared to Salah. It's just annoying that they can just keep doing it.
All right, boys. Who is the referee for this match? Do you know? Don't look it up.
Anthony Taylor?
AT.
It is Anthony Taylor.
Yeah.
VAR? You guys know who the VAR is?
What's your least favorite guy? Tierney?
Yeah, Paul Tierney. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do dislike him. No, it's Stuart Atwell.
Kavanaugh.
Atwell's
not bad.
Yeah, Atwell's okay. Brad, do you know who you have in your game in the Villa Chelsea game?
I do not.
It's your boy, my boy, everyone's boy, Michael Oliver.
Oh God.
Is it bad that we're reduced to looking at referees for games?
It's terrible. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad MLS is back this week because I don't know any of the refs.
Do you want to humor me and just look up who the referee is for Tottenham and Ipswich?
Yes, I have it up. I have it pulled up. Kavanaugh is the VAR.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, dang, Kavanaugh. We pulled Kavanaugh?
No. You have Tim Robinson.
I've never heard of him before in my life.
Neither have I. You're going to have a great, well-refed game.
Isn't he the one?
It's going to be great.
Isn't he the one Australian ref?
No, that's England.
Gillette.
Oh, it's Gillette. It's Gillette. Yeah. Jared Gillette is the Australian guy. Yeah. Does he have an assignment this weekend? Jared Gillette doesn't. Oh, he's on the Newcastle Forest game. And is he doing VAR anywhere? Because Gillette sometimes gets VAR.
Hey,
yeah.
I'll give a shout out since we're talking about refs. I'll give a shout out to Peter Banks. Actually, great ref game. If we want to poop on refs as much as we do, got to give a shout out when they do well. Tottenham United was refed very well. Got a firm grip of the game and never let it go.
All right,
because the game was so boring, but whatever.
It was not. It was actually a pretty decent game. I thought it was a pretty decent game. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. Let's take a look at the picks.
Yeah.
The picks.
Yeah. What's those look like, James?
All right. Round 25 in the books. We had 11 picks. Well, anyone who picked all the games had 11 picks. In first position, P1, as they say, on the top of the podium this week is none other than Sean with 7. Coming in second would be Jimmy and Tamzid. Both were on 6. Everyone else were tied on 5, except for Joel, who only made one pick for this week. So if we draw our attention to the overall standings, we have I was going to say a new leader, but it's still the same leader. Jimmy is still in the lead. Where's Brad in this? Oh, Brad needs to scroll up to get Brad. Jimmy's still in the lead. Sean has overtaken Brad, and Brad is in third. So it goes Jimmy and Jack. Jimmy and Jack, Sean, Brad. So yeah.
Comeback starts today. We coming. Next week, I'm gonna be at the top.
At the top. Oof.
At the top.
Jimmy, did you hear that? Them be fighting
by
words.
3. I'm beating Jimmy by 3 this week.
Sean,
you're gonna fall off hard.
Jimmy, get Jack on research duty today.
If you are interested in joining the picks, we do that in our Discord. You can find a link to join our Discord in the description of this video or podcast. Hit us up on social media. That guy up top is at KSBradG. Down below is at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. Collectively, we can be reached at redcard_radio. All the social media, that's where you'll find us. We'll be back next week with, I guess another full slate of Red Card Radio because the international breaks, I think, like 2 weeks away. So we don't have any pauses or anything like that for a couple weeks. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoy some football, and we will see you all soon. Have a good one.